in health insurance premiums. Thank you all.
Senator Alsobrooks.
So as a part of the ongoing Jedi mind trick from this president, he this week made the absolutely incredible statement that the affordability crisis that Americans are feeling at their tables every single day is a part of a Democratic hoax. I can tell you what the true hoax is. It's a scam, and it's a hoax. You don't have to tell Americans about a hoax. The ones who recognize that they cannot afford their utility bills, the same ones who this Christmas season and holiday season are shopping and they experience for themselves how unaffordable it's becoming in this country. The same ones who are now sitting at their kitchen tables, people like my aging parents, both of whom are dealing with life-threatening illnesses, who look at their Medicare and look at all of their premiums and recognize the escalating cost of health care in this country. And so the Jedi mind trick that continues to want Americans to believe that somehow affordability is not an issue is really, it's really, really sad. But this week, we have a chance to provide relief from the looming health care crisis that's threatening millions of American families. Now, let's be clear. This could have been resolved months ago, but Republicans refuse to do so. Americans are already struggling under the weight of increased cost of living, and everything is more expensive, especially in this holiday season. And this health care crisis is only making things worse. Democrats know this because we've been listening to what Americans have been saying to us. We know the strain that this is putting on families, and we've been fighting to lower health care costs. But we've come up against a roadblock. These Republicans who are in control, and they've stopped us at every single turn. For months, we've been asking our Republican colleagues to work with us on extending these Affordable Care Act tax credits. And this is something, to be clear, that absolutely should not be controversial. For many people, this is absolutely a matter of life and death. We should be doing what we can to make life easier on the people that we're here in Washington to represent. But Republicans just don't get it. They're out of touch. Can you imagine sitting at your kitchen table holding a notice from your insurer that tells you that your health care premium is about to be tripled, only to hear that this administration and Republicans who are in control of the government think that you're stressed out about a hoax? If Donald Trump and Republicans in Congress spent more time with the people that they are supposed to be representing instead of the billionaires that they have worked all year long to repurpose our government to be able to afford their tax cuts, the billionaires that they continue to cater to, they would know that affordability is not a con job. This is a real crisis, and it's one that Republicans have needlessly created. They have a job to do, but instead of working with us, they've spent months complaining about the Affordable Care Act because they don't get it, and guess what? They never have. For the last 15 years, they've taken every opportunity to criticize the Affordable Care Act and to talk about what they would do instead if they were in control. Well, the time is here, but their plan is not here. They have no plan, and they haven't put forth an alternative yet. That leads us to conclude that they do not have a plan. And if you look at the way that they've handled everything from health care to the economy and how they've made everything less affordable, it's not clear that they ever will. Even if they were capable of putting together a plan, it's becoming clear that Republicans just don't care. They're choosing to ignore the voices of the American people who are struggling to afford absolutely everything. Again, from food to housing to health care to goods to utilities. But the truth is that the people are not their concern. This isn't something that I say lightly, but we know that actions speak louder than words, and the Republicans' lack of action is deafening. It says they don't care, and they don't care enough to even do their jobs. Since they don't care enough to put together a plan, we've done the work and offered them a simple one. Extend the ACA tax credits for 3 years. That way, premiums don't skyrocket and overburden families across this nation. And while the extension is in place, well then let's work together to make health care more affordable and more accessible. This is the Republicans' latest chance to speak with their actions and show who they stand with. But no matter what they decide, we know where we stand. We are on the side of the American people. We're going to fight to lower costs and to make life better for families. And we're going to keep sharing our vision for a more affordable America.
Thank you, Senator Alsobrooks. Okay, we're ready for questions. Yes.
On this briefing that you're about to have with the national security leaders, how concerned are you about the possibility of a ground war in Venezuela, and what will you press the Secretary of Defense and others on in terms of what rationale they would have to take that step?
First, we're very concerned. You've heard Trump's musings, ministrations, contradictions on what he would do, and he's the president, and they all listen to him. So we are very, very concerned. To go into war, land war, in Venezuela is an act of war. That is Congress's right. And Senator Kaine and myself and two others, Schiff and Rand Paul, have the War Powers Act ready to be introduced on the floor of the Senate. We